Drake is turning up the pressure in his defamation lawsuit over Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. Yes, it is August. Yes, it is August of 2025. And yes, we are still talking about Not Like Us. The Toronto the Toronto rapper wants a judge to make Universal Music Group, the parent company for both him and Kendrick, hand over an unredacted copy of Lamar's contract, plus any records tied to domestic violence or other alleged crimes by Lamar. The beef, which started with Drake and J. Cole's first-person shooter Big 3 line, which I didn't think was really that much of a diss. To me, like that is really where it takes off. But anyway, it spiraled into diss tracks packed with personal accusations, and Drake claims that UMG quietly boosted Kendrick's hit Not Like Us by cutting licensing deals and paying third parties to spread the pedophile smear that comes up, of course, in Not Like Us, A Minor, the weird cases, all that stuff, all to hurt his brand during contract talks. Now, Universal Music Group gave up the contract, but blacked out, i.e. redacted, so much that Drake's team called the contract, quote, virtually unreadable. He also wants Interscope's revenue data, Kendrick Lamar's catalog valuation, and communications from UMG's CEO, Lucian Grange, who he suspects helped fuel the rivalry. Now, the label says that Grange had, quote, no meaningful involvement. Now, allegations of personal misconduct, of domestic violence in particular, are hard to get in front of a jury unless they directly connect to a defamation claim. Courts often exclude them as irrelevant or overly prejudicial to the jury. So if Drake can't prove that Universal Music Group, also UMG, I'm going to say it from now on, use those accusations to hurt him, a judge might block them entirely. But just requesting them can shape the headlines. It can shift public perception, and it might turn the legal fight into a PR battle. Now, sidebar, no extra charge for this. Drake might really just be trying to strategically get his lick back in the court of public opinion. This is what we were talking about the other day on the JVP. Like, he might just be saying, look, I want to get this evidence out to smear Kendrick, or not to smear him, but to make him look bad. Smear almost sounds like it didn't happen. So I'm saying, like, Drake's saying maybe this did happen and the public needs to know. And maybe while Drake's position might be, look, while Kendrick is over here calling me a PDF file, and I'm not, he's over here doing the things that I accuse him of doing in my raps. Now, to me, that's, well, give me a second. So he's going to do that through discovery evidence. Almost anything relevant can be requested and exchanged privately between parties, even if it never sees the inside of a classroom, the courtroom. So even the request for discovery can lead to some of this stuff that we're talking about. Then you got admissible trial evidence that must meet strict legal standards, relevant, reliable, and not overly prejudicial, and the judges will act as the gatekeeper. But again, just bringing it into the conversation is important. Why? Because in both cases, you have a strategic leak risk. Discovery materials aren't always public, but in high-profile cases, what gets requested can get leaked. And if it gets leaked, it could be as newsworthy as what actually gets proven. That's where it gets tricky. So Drake might be trying to win a legal battle here. He may have a principled struggle here, or he could be trying to get his look back to the court of public opinion, or it could be the truth could be somewhere in the middle. Like, I don't want to beat up on Drake here. If Drake feels like he was strategically undermined by his own label, and that the label chose sides, and that they strategically made Drake look bad and strategically cheapened his brand and lowered his Q rating and his ability to market and monetize his own success. If they did all that on purpose so that they don't have to back up the Brinks truck during the renegotiation, then Drake is right. And I certainly don't want to side with UMG over Drake. I mean, Drake's an artist. Drake's the worker in this case. I ain't trying to side against Drake on that. It's just getting harder and harder to understand what Drake's legible strategy is, given the way he's requesting evidence, given the way that he's mounting, or his team is mounting their legal strategy. It looks more and more like he's bitter and angry, and less like he has a real legal battle here, a winnable legal battle. I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying it's starting to look bad. So I'd love to hear Drake's team explain what's going on a little bit more so that we can make some sense of it. And in the meantime, Kendrick is just chilling. I'm just tired, y'all. I am tired of hearing about Kendrick and Drake. I would love 6 months with no Kendrick and no Drake. I would love that. Now, if it's just music, cool. If Kendrick puts out an EP or an album or a single or a feature, great. He just did it on the Clips album, loved it. Drake just put out a couple tracks. One of them I liked a lot, one of them I didn't love, but he's putting out more and more music. And I know Drake is very close to putting out I don't know. I'm suspecting Drake is very close to putting out a major project. If he's rapping, I think it's going to be good. So I want to hear it. I can't wait for all of it. Somebody said, man, stop it. Drake benefits from the same system, but now he lost the battle. Now he wants to take it to court. Stop it. Look, Descendant, that's what it looks like to a lot of people. That's what it looks like on its face to me. But I have to believe that there's more to it than that. I have to believe that. Now, what that more is, I don't know. That's what I need to see some more transparency. That's where I need to see some more explanation. Because right now, shit sounds crazy.